why your clients will buy from you, okay? It all comes back to this. On the left, this is your clients in their frustrating, agitating situation. They're overwhelmed. There's like, they have professional clarity, and they want to go to this on the blue on the right side. They want to get to a place where they are calm, they are fulfilled, they're happy, they're joyful, they're where they want to be, basically. Let's say this is point A now, this is now, and 12 months from now is point B, where we want to go. So to get there, you got to cross this river. This is the gap between where we are and where we want to go. Now, to cross the gap, we need a bridge. Well, to build a bridge, it's complex. The bridge meaning you having the business side covered, the plan of action, having the plan of action meaning the strength of your business, the bridge. So to build that, we need a bridge. Now, to do that on your own, it's too costly. Trial and error in business is costly. Please don't do it. This is, if I don't tell you these things and you do it, it will cost you too much money. Please don't do anything trial and error in business, because we need it for long term. Now, let's say this is the focus. This is we're channeling all of our energy to solve this gap, fix this bridge, because now what we have is we have built two pieces of the bridge. We know where we are. I've helped you get clarity about where you are right now. I've helped you get some clarity about where we're going to go. Now we can narrow our focus to a specific point, because before, in here, where do you put the bridge? It's a massive river. With the river example, I'm saying the market. It's a big market. Where do you drop in the market? If you drop in the blue, think of the blue that is like the small, and then as you get down, the red, this is too complicated. Like there's too competition, too much people. You got to find the point in the market where there is not like too much competition. Create your own market, be unique. So now, I've gone there, I've made a lot of mistakes, I've done some research, some training, some experience, some work, so I've found a place that you can put some rocks in there for you to build the bridge, and I've helped you build two pieces of the bridge. The first piece I've helped you is where you are. So that's the point. The next point, I've helped you where you want to go. They get clarity about that. Getting to 1 to 3 clients per month, that is the effect. Getting the cash flow, but then in the back end, you got to do the business end. So now all you got to do is do your own analysis, as we do together, figure out what the gap is here now, and figure out the root problem, the missing piece that you can put in that can get us the result we want. We just need to put in the piece in the bridge to complete it. Now, the same thing with your clients. They are going to have a problem. They are going to have a desire. Their problem is what they, if it's painful enough, it will motivate them to change. But for some of them, it may not be too painful to change now. So when you get them on the phone calls, when you get them on the sales call, all you're doing is building a bridge. You're just building two pieces of the bridge, because you cannot build all the bridge yourself for them. If you do that with everybody, you will run out of energy. You cannot carry them on your back. You can just help them figure out, get the foundation. Now you say, hey, let's get on the call. The first call that you get your prospects on is a connection call. We call that a connection call. It's a 15 to 30 minutes call. So now I'm showing you how to take all of this, the business mumbo jumbo, and turn it into actionable sales tactics that you can do on a daily basis. So when you're talking to your market every day, all you're doing is trying to get them on the phone call to do two things. Get some clarity about where they are, get some clarity about where they want to go, and then see the gap. And if it's something you can help them, then you say, hey, now we have built the foundation in the bridge. Now the next step is to get on a longer call, which is like a 50 minutes call. We go into detail, we look at what the gap is, what the problem is, the root problem, because we don't want to spend our time solving the wrong problem. The same thing here. So I'm doing these things for you and showing you how it works. and showing you real time on each slide how to implement it for your business, for your clients. So you can see it, how it looks from a strategic point, how it looks from a tactical point. This is a tactic. Creating the slide, the pieces, that's a tactic. If you start your thinking like that, how else are you gonna build something that's like actually works? Then the execution, how to actually show it to the client, explain it, and then how to do the same thing for your business. That's what it takes to create transformation. And the same thing with your business, with your expertise. You got to be able to do the same thing with them. You got to be able to build the bridge. And that is your number one goal every single day, getting as many people on the phone call as possible. I don't care what you do. Get the message on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, use any platform you want. Use email, anything. Pick up the phone, call them, find their number on their website, call them, surprise them. Hey, I was just reading your story. Really love what you guys are doing. I just wanted to get on the phone with you and talk with you. What are some problems you guys are facing? This is the market research, for example. What desires do you guys have? I just want to serve you guys. I'm looking to serve this community. Just tell me some of your problems. The only way you can find the painful problem in the market that people are willing to pay for is to ask them. With the water analogy, I could come and say, hey, here's the water, here's the shiny glass, but inside, if there is still water that you don't want, let's say example with the sparkling water, if I every day say, hey, buy this, you're just gonna get frustrated. Whereas if I just say, hey, what kind of water do you want, the sparkling water? Now if I say, hey, let's say it's a hot summer day and you're on the beach, and I am a business owner on the beach, and I sell water, and say, hey man, how's your day going? Just chatting with you on the side of the beach, and say, hey, we build a bit of connection. I get to know you. I get to build a bit of trust. Now I start developing the conversation further. This is how, when you said my problem is getting people to find them and then getting people to jump from the message to the phone call, this is the difference. This is how you do it. The only way to get somebody from a message to actually get in front of them is to know who they are, what their problem is, what their pain is, here, like this. Because you got to be able to tell them with the contents, with your marketing, and saying, hey, here's where your problem is. Here's where your current solution, what it looks like. Here where you want to go. Here is this, think of this bridge, these pieces that I'm giving you right now. I'm giving you some strategies to test, build some foundation, build some bridge for yourself. Because if you don't have the bridge, you're not going to be able to transcend yourself. And I'm giving you a very specific bridge on a very specific frequency. And this is the next point. You could just say, hey, I just want to, somebody could say, I want to do all of this myself. You could just jump in there. Now I've helped you get focused. If you go on my social media platform, if you read my post, if you follow me for a while, this is what I talk about. All of this is there. On this call, I'm just, adding some new strategies, just giving you in a more, one-to-one way. But you could just go on my social media, get all of this yourself. And then, because I've just given you some ideas, now you could say, I want to do this myself. Well, you got your challenges right now. You got no clients right now. You got no cash. There is the fear of failure. There's no proven roadmap. There's no plan. It's trial error. If you go to the path B, which is the trial error, the tactical way, trying to do it with some quick tactical stuff, with the one size fits all strategies, and trying to not hire somebody specialist to help you. And then, because once you do that, then there's all these other problems. There's the family, there's no time, there's the partner, there's the finances. Think of your clients like this. They are in that situation. I know my market they have similar situation here. There's they don't have clients, there's no cash, there's no roadmap, there is no plan that they can actually execute. There's nobody teaching them the business tools, the business machines, the business strategies. And it's not like you guys haven't put a time and effort to learn them. It's like you didn't know that you need them. Now you have, with some awareness on social media and with the messages, you have seen my messages and so on, this stuff. Now, the same thing with your business. You gotta be in front of your market all the time. talking about 3 things. Number 1, talk about their current existence, the problems, the pains that they have. Number 2, talk about where they want to go, how amazing their life is going to be, how fulfilled they're going to feel, how joyful is it going to be, what does it look like. And here's the thing, you cannot just use these words randomly, because fulfilling, joyful, happy has 7.5 billion different meanings. Each word that you see there has a specific meaning to you, that based on a story, based on a sequence of events before. The same thing with your market. This is how you get their attention. If you can do this thing properly, everything else will fall in place. If you get this wrong, everything will crumble. It's like if you build a bridge on the sand, it's just going to get wiped out when there's the ocean floors rise, when there's some chaos when there's some external disasters. So think of the water as like the market. That is where we're trying to help people. That's where we're trying to build a business. And think of these alligators here as these problems here. There's debt, there's not enough clients, fears, there's trial and error. Think of them as manifesting in the form of alligators in the sea. Now, here's what happens. If you do that with no business skills, no strategies, no tools and machines, there's no differentiation in the market, there is no visibility, you're using old ways of marketing and advertising, you're doing actions inconsistently, you're just taking some sporadic tactical activities. There are just minor activities, not proactive things. And if you keep doing that for a long time, if you don't understand the market's pains and problems, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be, in 12 months' time, you'll be upside down. Because these alligators, these things, are going to keep compounding and exponentially growing. They're going to come back, and the moment things go backwards, because you cannot build a business without understanding the client's needs and problems, without building a solution and delivering it to them. If you can't do that, then you're upside down, you're going backwards. And if you're upside down, the alligator is going to come and chop off the business's head. That's the chaos. Think of all of these red things at the bottom, they are chaos. Think of this alligator as the kryptonite, as the chaos coming together, taking a form, coming and eating you back. This is the lack of discipline. This is the inconsistent action. This is not taking self-responsibility. These things are not easy. It took me 2 years of deep practice. In 2018, when I started, I was living in denial. I was going backwards. I was to the point where my boat was backwards and I was deep down, and the alligator was like a few millimeters away from my head. I was in big financial problems, almost going into like legal issues, literally. That's how bad things were. Well, I had to change myself. I had to transcend myself to get to from that point and survive that. So this is big lessons for you with business. If you tell your clients that, hey, if you go try to do these things on your own, these are what's going to happen. And here's the point B. It's an unsustainable path. CSS path B is 50 to 80 times longer than path A. So this is how it works. This is how you communicate with the market, saying, hey, here is how it is. If you do it yourself, this is the problem. Now, if you educate the person, if they are smart enough to evolve, they're going to say, hey, what is path in the next path? Is there a smarter way? Can we leverage? Because the only difference between somebody who has a job, who owns a job, aka operator, the most life coaches, the difference between that, somebody who owns a job and somebody who is a business owner who is leading their business, is leverage. That's it. If you are a business owner, if you're not leveraging, you're not a business owner. That means leveraging your team, leveraging yourself, leveraging us, my team, my platform, leveraging my strategies, leveraging your thinking, leveraging the Self Transcendence training, leveraging the free live shows, leveraging. But leveraging strategically and knowing that, hey, if I do this action, here's the effect I'm going to get. Is that effect something that I want? Is it on my list? Because throughout the journey, if you don't have something written, you're going to come up with, you're going to take some actions, or you're going to think that, some random effects you see on the wall that has nothing to do with your plan. When you look at that is like the shiny object. And if you try to put that into this bridge and try to build a bridge, it's not going to work. So you got to have it written down. So every day you look at it and saying, here's the action. If I take the action, is it going to produce this result? If yes, let's do it. Is it worth it? Yes. Is it not worth it? Don't do it. If it is worth it, then what can we do? How long does it take? What is the resources we need? What is the plan of action? Because we know if you try to do it yourself, that's what happens at the bottom. Now the next path, which is what I am here to do, show you, is the path A. That's where we come in. This is what my name means actually. The Anwar piece, it means light. It's like bringing light. So when I look at my purpose of existence in those worlds, something that's been consistent in my existence, one of the prayers that I always have is like, I want to be guided in the right path. I don't know what your spiritual journey is. I don't know who you believe in. I have no judgment on that side, but if you believe in God, if you have somebody that you look up to when the things are hard, if you pray to somebody, one of my prayer has always been, say, I want to be guided. Please, God, guide me in the right path. Because if I am on the right path, I don't care how challenging it is. Like you have overcome so many problems, so many challenges. You're going to get through this, but now you're going to have to become a light for somebody else to build a bridge that can get them to where they want to go more sustainably. So this is, where we come in. That's what I'm trying to do for you. I'm showing you the light. I'm making the light brighter. I'm leveraging. I'm being smart here, trying to, leverage some specific strategies, technologies, innovation, marketing, sales, business, communication, leadership, humanity, like just real friendly stuff. Because at the end of the day, if you're not friendly with somebody, if you're not friendly with your clients, if you cannot communicate with them, if you cannot inspire them, if you cannot shine the light, then it's not going to work. So that's what path A is. We have built the bridge. What we do is, you can leverage my strategies, my program. You can leverage our course. To get this process, this bridge in place faster, get there quicker with predictability, because everything here is tested. Because if you look at it, if you do the work, if you look at the risk as you go, as the changes happen, if you optimize, you're going to get there. So you got to be flexible. So we burn the bridge, we burn the boat. There is no going back. Because when I started last year, I dropped out of university. I did university for a year. I said, okay, cool. Now where I want to go, this is not going to help me, because I had done some work. I knew what I wanted. The same thing with you. When you know what you want, you can easily say no to things, because you're going to have to say no to a lot of things for you to be able to implement these strategies. We haven't gotten to the execution part yet, because right now, for you to be able to, this is where the time problem comes in. I don't have no time. You don't have no time because you're not prioritizing the right things. You're not working on the right things, because each activity has different value. Everything I'm showing you here, this activity, understanding the client's problem, prioritizing, looking at long-term strategy, these are 100,000 pound per hour activity. The tactical things, they are about like 1,000, 10,000 per hour activity. The execution activities, the creating copies, sending the messages, booking phone calls, the building the website, writing the messages, the spelling everything perfectly. Those things, those are the execution things. Those are like 10 hour per activity, $20, $50, $100. Those are the things you can delegate. You can even leverage a lot of tools and strategies to do that. That's really create leverage. So does that kind of make sense, what you got to do for your market and what we are trying to do for you? And then,
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we burn all that stuff, we burn the bridge. Look at this, before there was so much chaos here. Look at this, all these alligators trying to eat you. These are chaos. I'm trying to help you visually see what this chaos looks like in your business. and what happens when you're going backwards, because this can get you, it can really hurt you bad, because you gotta, for you to be able to become and attract dream clients, you gotta become a dream client yourself. You gotta start improving everything. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So here, I help you to focus, get all of this chaos calm. We burn everything, we burn the bridges. There is no going back. We have one aim, one mission, one plan to achieve, but different ways of getting there. Because here, if you look at this compass here above the head of the point B, that's where we're trying to go. But to get there, the things we're going to do is going to be change. It's going to be a lot of changes, optimization, evolving, but the destination itself is not going to change. It's just the journey that's going to be changing. So the same thing with your client. You're going to be able to do that, communicate with them and say, hey, if you want to work, let's work together. You got to define what this chaos looks like for them, what these problems look for them, come up with your own analogy, with the river analogy or something different, and communicate with them. This is how you're going to stand out. This is how you're going to be different, by being different. So let's burn the bridges. Let's burn the alligators, because I'm focusing my laser. I think of like the Superman. We're with laser burning all of this stuff down. Boom. This is what happens when you burn all of that chaos. You have clarity. Everything is much cleaner. Here, you're narrow, you're focused, you're in isolation mode. You're trying to solve this problem that looks so big. But once we burn everything, once we burn all that chaos, the story, all that assumption, we look at the risk, what could go wrong, we put a plan in place. Here's what happens. You get clarity. Here is the amazing thing with clarity. It gives you power. Well, why do you need power? It gives you the willpower, the energy to act. Why do you need energy? Well, it's a resource to execute the work. Because for you to execute the work on a daily basis, get the results, you have to allocate some resources. Time, money, effort. That means your sweat doing the work. And when you do all of that, you get clarity. Now you know what the river looks like. You know the alligators in there. You have burned them. You have no fear of them, but you know they are still there, lurking. These are the risks coming on the corner. You're always thinking, what is around the corner that would come and get my business, get me? So now let's look at what this plan of action looks like. The main goal for us is to get you to the market leadership. That is the Transcendence Mastermind. The Transcendence community right now, with this Self Transcendence, helping you to get the foundation ready. These things are going to change your life in long term massively. It's going to help us plant good seeds, because if you want to harvest in summer, in spring, in New Year, we got to plant now. And here is the next lesson in the business. You got to map things like this. So this is my way of mapping my business. This is everything. Is my business. I have 3 different programs. So you got to simplify things in your business. You cannot be offering more than 3 different things. If you do that, you're trying to do too many things. You don't have much energy to do it. So when you're trying to build your business, now start with one thing. What was the name of your program? Was it the New You program? What was it called again?
Yeah, New You, that was it.
So what we are doing now is building the foundation. So you can say, hey, I've created my New You program. It's the 1.0 version. So this is just launched this month. I've just launched this product. And it's a 1.0 version. And I'm always telling my market, hey, my flagship program, that is the 4.0. So it's been rebuilt almost 8 times, because every version is 2 different variations. So the same thing with your business. When you start things, the action is not going to be perfect. We are taking imperfect action. You're going to feel a lot of resistance. You're going to be like, oh, can I do it? You're going to have fear. You're going to have emotions. And I am going to be there to tell you when those emotions come, when you try to not do the work, I'll be there to tell you in a nice, friendly way. Because at the end of the day, I want to see you create some transformation for your life. I'm not going to push you, by the way. I'm just going to remind you. That's it. I'm just going to put a stimulus in front of your eyes and say, hey, look at this. Here's, you said what you want to achieve. Is what you're doing right now helping that? I don't think it is, because I can see things in your business from a perspective that you're not looking at things. This is the true benefit of having a different perspective. So I'm going to help you, as with every community member, to Self Transcendence, create all of this with the business, with the program, with the marketing, with the sales, with the delivery, with improving your skills, becoming a better coach, becoming a better human, all of that, a full package. But we're going to do it very strategically, methodically, step by step. So this is what the end goal is to create for you. Your business mapped out like this, because everything you start from today, from our calls and everything, you have to start from a blank piece of paper. You cannot use the same old thinking. And the best way to create new thinking is to have a completely separate journal. So I have two different journals here. One is for my marketing stuff, for marketing, sales, and all of that. One is for just pure business side. So the marketing is all about the coaching and the mentoring, that side. The business journal, which is a different journal, that is just the business side. That is things like this, the foundation of your business, your structure, your mission, your vision. So I've already gone through all of that. So let's look at what the plan of action looks like and how we can build the pieces for you. So this is what the plan of action looks like. The first thing is, to create, for us to create the change we want, we need to have strategies. Your strategy is basically idea, but these ideas have to be specific to your situation, to your unique desire. Now, before I can give you any strategy to implement, I have to get clarity, get extreme clarity about your current and desired situation. The same thing with your clients. You cannot give somebody a piece of the strategy to execute without having some understanding of where they are and where they want to go. Because this is again like a warning here, because if you implement something here that is not really based on your situation, I don't know what results you're going to get. So this is like a disclaimer thing. Before I can give you a piece of the strategy, before you can help somebody, you have to diagnose them. And that is what your job is on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on social media, with your marketing, with your sales. You're just doing that. You're not trying to sell them. You're just trying to get clarity about where they are, where they want to go, and you're trying to measure the gap. How else are you going to do all of this without getting on the phone? The best way is getting on the phone. You can leverage surveys and things like that as the market. And you got to measure the gap where they are and identify the core obstacles and challenges on the way. That's the next thing. That's point B, which is what we're trying to do here. I've shown you where the gap is, where we're going with the slideshow and everything. Now we can do step number 3, which is the amazing part. We can just take all of this. I give you the plan of action. You go put in a few pieces. That's it. Then you show up on every Self Transcendence show every week. And we're going to be talking about the specific things, and I'll show you where to find them on the plan of action and what we're doing. So you in real time, you know what's happening. You're getting real time support. Then on the lives, you can ask me questions. We can look at your plan. I can look at your website. I can look at your messaging. I can look at your calls. I can look at your results. I can look at your business. I can look at your product real time on the ask questions, answer questions. Because you're gonna have to provide something similar to your market as well, but not immediately. Eventually, you will offer the full package. Now, once we build the plan of action, you then need to optimize your business model and structure, because you need to start allocating your resources and start executing the strategies. That's the next thing. So for your clients to get results, you have to tell them, hey, you gotta do this work. Here's how to do them. And then, you got to prioritize them for them, because there's too many choices for them. You got to help them to prioritize things, get a few pieces and activities and actions, and then analyze the risk, what could go wrong, and then execute the plan on a daily basis. So that is what the plan is. Now I'm going to give it to you, the actual template.